Hello everyone, welcome back to the IEM Chicago 2018 European Closed Qualifiers. As the day carries on, we get further and further into that lower bracket, but for a minute, we're going to switch back up to the upper bracket. It's the last game we have. This one is for a qualifier spot. It's a big deal. ENCE versus Avangar. Should be a tasty one.
Exactly that. Obviously, in the European qualifier here, we have 2 slots up for grab. Over in North America, only 1. And with that, we have the upper bracket final, which grants the first spot, and then the lower bracket final later on. Well, no, tomorrow, actually. Excuse me. That's going to be the only best of 3 we have tomorrow. But for now, ENCE versus Avangar. And obviously, when we take a look at the route that Avangar have taken to get here as well, Jack, the thing that blows my mind is 2-0 versus a full roster Heroic. It's not as if Modi was out yesterday. It was with Modi and the whole team. Then Fitch, Buster, Fitch especially beating his own team, his own former team, Gambit 2-0. And in the open qualifier as well, they beat Fragsters 2-1, another team that's on the rise. So Avangar, obviously, they've made their adjustments after doing well at the major. Now coming into the qualifiers and the online season for these bigger events, they're still turning heads.
Yeah, looking good. And obviously, the position we get left with there is the fact, obviously, I mean, to be honest, right, we're looking at the lower bracket. I still think Space Soldiers are going to work their way through. That match is still currently going on, so we're unsure who's actually going to get out of there between Space Soldiers and Gambit. That's been a long old one. That's gone the whole 3
Yeah, that's what, that started at 11, 3 hours that's been going on for.
Yeah.
So that's a long best of 3.
That's a big one. And obviously, once we finally get our team from that, we'll have more of a clearer picture of where they're going to go. Probably Space Soldiers North, I'd like to think, but Gambit do have a definite shot to get out of there. And we have this matchup. The loser of this will go down to the lower bracket. They're going to play, obviously, the respective team that gets through that. And at that point, you've got actually kind of some interesting teams that are into the mix. Obviously, the core 3 you want to look at overall, I think, obviously, easily, ENCE going to be in there. The minor, probably the 3rd team, North and Space Soldiers, probably the 1 and 2.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. I think coming into the qualifier, as you said there, North, Space Soldiers, probably the heavy favourites coming into it. The fact we have none of those teams in the upper bracket finals, definitely a surprise. ENCE versus Avangar. Avangar for me is the unexpected one, I would say. Maybe if it was Gambit or Heroic, maybe not Heroic, maybe just going to say there, maybe Gambit as well, to see a Gambit North upper bracket final, a Gambit Space Soldiers upper bracket final, to see ENCE, the Finnish team, obviously unable to make it to the major qualifier. They fell short to NIP in that best of 3. They lost 2-0 as well. To come all the way to the upper bracket final here, they could almost undo what they did at the minors. Obviously, the major's a massive, massive event, right? Having your sticker in the game, being immortalized in Counter-Strike history, essentially playing at the major, having your sticker in-game is huge, but then again, it was the major qualifier. It wasn't exactly the top 16 legend status or the Challenger Series part of it. And what that means is, for the mental state of the ENCE team, obviously a massive blow mentally to lose out that best of 3 to NIP, not qualify for the major qualifier, but can they undo their wrongs by qualifying for another event to take their mind off things?
It also is what you get from this. So if ENCE actually, they win here today, they take this victory over Avangar, especially going through the upper bracket, eyes are going to be on them. That's going to be a good look for them. Then you have the ability now. You can prove things, right? You can go to IEM Chicago. You've got a lot of time to prepare. You've got till sort of, the 10th and 11th of November. So you've got a good few weeks, really, sort of a full month that you can get a proper good grip on your opponents. You know who else is going to be there. You have a good understanding of what's going on. And ENCE are a team now with their new coach. They can do that homework. They can do the groundwork. They can be prepared. They can walk into that event. If they kick up a fuss, they get a good placement overall, Snods, easily that's your ticket then into the bigger tier of events. That's going to be you getting those constant re-invites.
The invites, yeah, exactly. I mean, even in invites, the closed qualifier is a good experience of competition to have for your team. But also the invites to your DreamHack Opens, your DreamHack Montreal's is coming up soon as well. Invites to the Skin Cups, invites to Zotac tournaments, and these sort of tournaments where they're not quite the, obviously, 250, 300k lands, right? But they're definitely one where you can gain experience versus the upper echelons of the tier 2 teams, your North, Space Soldiers, and for teams such as Fragsters, especially coming into these qualifiers, it is paramount that they qualify not only through the open qualifier, but to get into more close qualifiers to try and warrant themselves the invites into the events and also the closed qualifiers themselves, so they can save all the hassle of the you know, 250 team open qualifiers, which can go on for quite a while.
Yeah, that can be a bit of a sour affair, obviously, trying to work your way through those. We are just getting the game set up and getting everything ready to go, and hopefully that won't take too long, and then we can get underway with the game, hopefully around 2 minutes before we get into the action. Yeah, obviously for Fragsters as well, it's quite a good point. I mean, with them, really, it's actually been a bit more of a common face to see them around now. They've been able to achieve a little bit more. They've been going to events. They're also being featured in these closed qualifiers, which is a whole lot better because now you see them, you're going to start to see that repeat. They'll try and get those invites to the closed qualifiers, and that's sort of like the first wall you need to break through, really, of getting into that next sort of tier.
Yeah, it's true. Obviously, if you qualify for more closed qualifiers, you have a higher chance of actually qualifying for the event. That's obvious. But one of the interesting things as well, speaking of Fragsters, was they did lose to Avangar in the open qualifier. Eventually, they won to get into the closed qualifier. But Avangar online have been very good in terms of recent form. The one that really surprises me is the 2-0 yesterday versus Heroic. Fitch 2-0ing his former team that kicked him. 2-0 in the second round of the upper bracket as well to get into this matchup here. The reason it's so surprising is after the major, they went on a bit of a hiatus, I guess, in terms of, what was the other team as well? I think they're called Windstrike now. Quantum Bellator prior. Haven't qualified for, you know, closed qualifiers, big events. They've gone under the radar, and they're going to be at the next major. They made top 8 at the last one, which means they get the auto invitation back to the major top 16 status. They don't have to go through the major qualification slot. And to be frank, would they have qualified for it? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, that's the funny thing, right? The last time I actually saw them play properly was when I was over doing the premiere, the Gamdon premiere, mate. That was the last time I saw QBF play before, obviously, the
Windstrike
change.
and all that, yeah.
Well, now they've switched over. They didn't look great. It looked really, really sloppy. I mean, the team itself as well, they had cut out the players that were kind of the heart and the soul of the team. They'd switched things up to try and patch the holes. And you sort of wonder, really, if that was a one-time hurrah, and that was all we're ever going to see from them.
Well, there will be more. Obviously, they are playing the new Swiss system coming into the Face It Major in September. But yeah, essentially, Avangar's another team we saw at the last major. Didn't make it into the top 8. However, they did obviously get some good wins. I think they went 1-3, 2-3. Oh, sorry, not 3. Well, yeah, 3 losses, right? I think they went 1-2-3. I can't actually quite remember. But long story short, ever since then, didn't hear too much about them. Here they are here versus ENCE. And ENCE is a team that is on the rise. Obviously, not qualifying for the major qualifiers, definitely a hinder to themselves. But in terms of the best of 3 win versus Mousesports at Cologne last month in July, now online as well, looking good. I mean, 2-1 win over North. Very, very convincing wins on the maps that they chose as well. I think it was Mirage and Train that they won in those blowouts. I think it was like 16-8 and a 16-7 in those 2 maps versus North. So if they lose this, it would be a North rematch.
Which could be a little bit of an interesting one. Obviously, bodes well for some good CS there in the lower bracket towards the end of the day, as we do have 2 best of 3s remaining today. We have this upper bracket best of 3, we then have another lower bracket game, and that sets us up for the very final game we're going to have going in tomorrow, which will be the last lower bracket game to decide the 2nd spot. Obviously, this game is for a spot at
Chicago.
For some reason, I wanted to say Shanghai, and then my brain was just like, nah. Yeah, Chicago. I am Shanghai.
Yeah, no,
unfortunately. Well, we don't have the HUD yet.
Yeah, so one of the issues we had earlier was the fact that the HUD was misbehaving, we can put it like that.
Yep.
I think there's an update that came out earlier today which has sort of messed with everything, essentially. But the HUD's back, so that might mean we're back, Jack.
Possibly. It seems like it could be the case. The Avangar logo is having a flicker, so maybe that will get remedied, and then we'll be ready to get underway. Could be
so, obviously, predictions, what do you reckon?
Dunno, mate. Dunno. It's a big one. Obviously, it is going to be quite an interesting game. I think we're going to see ENCE take this. I think overall, they should be the stronger team. They've looked good throughout the qualifier.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's a tough call. It's a very, very tough call. ENCE obviously looking good. Ariel and Sergey performing very, very well yesterday, especially Ariel as well. 20 kills in each and every map he played. I think it was 20 maps. Sorry, 20 kills in 5 maps, excuse me. But anyway, Jack, into the action we go.
Wow. Let's see where this one is going to go. I'm trying to go down there, but not really given the initial chance, as if Ariel can do some of the damage he was dealing out yesterday with already a ferocious flick shot to open it up. Batters down the first man he sees on the bomb site, and we'll be looking for more. Alexib as well, tagged down at just 16 HP, Snods. as they open up this fight towards the A site. Aerial with a response. Chipped away at. Buster does walk back into the site, gets one kill. It's a little bit of a slow fight on the retake. Buster's actually doing the majority of the damage, but Alu is on the bomb and he has the kit. They can't actually get him off just yet. But there's the backstab, and that pretty much seals the deal and will end the round. A good opener from Avangar, as the damage has been done. The Butcher play as well, so that's going to be a big abundance of cash instantly wired over to their bank accounts to kick this one off.
Didn't see too much of the action, but it was a push in towards jungle from Avangar, planting towards the side of Triple Box. Obviously that plant is open for ramp, open for palace, open for connector, jungle, all of the after plants that you dream of as a terrorist side player. Now coming into this round, it's going to be the double MP5 buy from the T side, backed up by 3 AKs. A 5-man force buy from ENCE as well, as already Buster finds 2 frags to make that a 3-man force buy. Coming into the remaining portion of this round. 1 player remaining towards the A site, Sergey. And apart from that, 2 players here towards B from ENCE, as the bomb is still in towards T spawn or the bottom of mid from Avangar. So they've still got many, many options as to where they can conclude in this round.
B bomb site appears to be the place of the assault, as they are going to head their way over there. X7 with a Deagle lands the first tag. The follow-up as well onto Buster. He does bring him down quite low, but the AK just proves too hot to handle. They work their way through. This should be another free round for the side of Avangar. The bomb is going to go down. They're into these good positions. Sergey and Alexib, in reality, just need to save that armor and CZ. Deagle and Sergey as well. There's no point losing it for no reason.
Exactly that. May as well just save onto what they have. I mean, even the flashbang from Alexib's worth something. They can group up connector, flash over middle, try and catch a few players off guard from Avangar. But apart from that, Buster with 3 kills pretty much seals the deal there in favor of the T side. So, Alexib here in towards window, trying to see if he can find an exit kill and hope that someone jumps into window and gifts him an AK. So far, though, nothing going to come of it just yet. So round number 4 here, Jack. 3, apologies. To see if Avangar can get to 3-0, as this is going to be the saved weaponry. CZ armor for Alexib. Deagle armor as well, saved by Sergey. Apart from that, 1 flash as well, maybe they can group up behind the A site, flash over and try catch players off guard, or do it towards connector. Long story short, try and catch a few players off guard with Avangar with that 1 assault flashbang.
Surge of the Deagle, close range, and he is able to overpower the initial man as he gets that first frag, but the response is fast with the MP5. Slowly but steadily, they encroach into that A bomb site and span out so they can lock it down and begin to take control. The retake from there will be quite weak. He get a nice little dink off, actually. X7 finds that kill with a USP of all weapons. Alexib is the only one that's actually armed with armor and a CZ. He does have the flashbang to try and allow his teammates to go for a fast play if they want to flash him in, but they can't recover any of the weapons that have been dropped just yet. That's going to be the only downside, Snots.
It's very true. They are down a man, but they're the ones that have the firepower in their favor, plus the armor, the utility. So bomb plant goes down. Alexib here towards connector could actually win the round here for ENCE if it goes into the 4 versus 2. You have the flank as well coming in towards Palace from Alu. But Alexib is the only player with armor, and he'll be winning that crucial duel versus Chrisen.
Grab the AK. He's now armed with a weapon that could work out quite well. Alu as well. Fighting, trying to overpower Jane, but unfortunately he couldn't actually do it. Got him down tremendously though. It's up to Aerial and Alexib. Aerial sprint straight in. Unfortunately, the pre-fire was too much to handle, and that is going to be a follow-up frag as well as Alexib goes down, and Avangar get all 3 rounds off the back of the pistol. It's been looking good so far.
Been looking good indeed. Obviously, so far, only won the pistol and the conversion rounds. Into the buy rounds we go, however. Bit of a block there, Sergey not even budging.
Just give him a hug.
So, early on then, 3 players towards B apartments from Avangar. Going to be going towards underpass afterwards. We see there Jane with the op, trying to go for the jump peak shot onto X7. But the smoke coming out from the CT side will delay that push and delay that peak as well. So we'll be going back towards middle, and Avangar can take late mid control. So far from ENCE, they're only going to have Aerial here, but Alexa now in towards CPL. Flashbang comes in towards middle. Question is, does ENCE have enough smokes for Connector to delay mid-control against Avangar?
Setting up to go for this push down mid. They want to try and take this attack up short, go for a B bombardment if they can pull it off. James holding the angle with the AWP there towards Connector. Comes around, they do detect Alexib first and get the better of him. They carry on the push as well. Crizin doubles it down as he finds the follow-up frag. Busted towards mid, has complete control of the situation. A firm grasp on the round now for Avangar. This should easily be a fourth for them, Snods, as he just carries on. Everyone has been decimated. The only remaining man is Sergej, and he's going to struggle to stay alive here. They are fanning out, they're on the hunt. If he can keep onto the kit he has with him, and carry this stuff through that is in his arsenal in the next round, it would be beneficial. But it looks like he might get detected if he's unlucky.
Does have two players coming in towards him at T-spawn, but it feels like Kuka and Crizin are going to be going towards Palace instead. They're not splitting up to cover more ground. So, Sergej will survive with the M4. 4 round loss bonus now accumulated for ENCE going forward. So $3,000 across the board here. They can obviously go for a quasi buy, maybe light investment into Kevlar, CZ, some light utility smoke, flashbang at that. They are going to receive $3,400 after losing this round if Avangar do go 0-5 up on this map. So, once again, mid-control coming out from Avangar. And aggression from Sergej as well with the Soil M4 in towards ramp, trying to see if he can force the issue, but walks right into the hand of James.
So they have the opening pick into this one. ENCE struggling majorly right now on the early game of their CT side. Avangar just being able to manhandle them and really start to run away with things. This will be a nice swift 5th round picked up, you'd imagine, if it carries on in this fashion. They are playing it quite slow.
So just to fill you guys in at home, Avangar have picked this map Mirage. Next one will be Inferno, picked by ENCE, and the decider will be Train. And with how good ENCE looked on Train yesterday versus North, maybe Avangar are going to need to get this one done in 2.
Aerial. He looked absolutely deadly yesterday. We started off the game with a bang, and now he's going to try and carry that on and not go out in a fizzle. As it is a 4-on-4 from this point. Aerial has been brought down to 46 HP, and unfortunately for him, the true play is going down towards the opposite site. He might find the frag on Buster, but Kuka gets the early entry. Oh, nice little dig shot there from X7 Snods. Makes it easier for the retake as he softens up Kuka and busts through that armor. Will get tagged, but it's just a slight little love tap. That one's a bit bigger though.
3 versus 3. Alu has a kit here with an AK to back it up, so there is definitely a chance here for ENCE to the retake. But they're all coming in through kitchen. One-dimensional retake means a crossfire like this on the default site should be enough to seal the deal. James Orp will be the final factor in that. 5-0, Avangar with a major advantage here on their T side early on. If they get 1 or 2 more rounds, they're going to be content with this half as a bare minimum. So, buy coming in once again from ENCE. Orp for Alu. We saw him be very effective towards middle yesterday against North, but obviously Avangar are a completely different team in terms of playstyle. Very aggressive team, less strategy, more raw firepower, but already Alu wins the early exchange. Same can be said for Aerial as well.
X7 towards B, has this little push coming towards him. So they have already done quite well this time. ENCE, they've gone in for the faster, more aggressive style of CS. They've switched up the tempo a little bit, turned it on its head, and gone for the faster plays, which have given them the benefit. It's just Kuka, and well, it was Kuka. It's just Finch that remains now in the 1 versus 4. Makes his play, makes his bed towards the B site, but will he be able to lie in it, or is he going to get blown to bits before he even gets a chance to slip in his Jimmy Jams? Gets the early tag out, but X7 will kill him, and ENCE actually finally get around on the board.
Yeah, they do. 5-1 then. Good early pick from Ali. Obviously, we saw James pick towards ramp time and time again. He's actually going to go for it again. Ali this time, though, is going in towards window, so won't be walking into that this time around. Smoke in towards top middle. Molotov coming in towards connector. Buster just waiting towards top mid for now. He's only used 2 grenades. So Avangar can still go back there later on. Jane with the AWP going to be rotating in, I imagine, back towards middle, especially as well as he lines up the smoke towards top mid. But Ali with the aggression here once again finds the opening pick.
Trying to play a little bit more aggressive, and it is boding well for him. B is where the commotion is going to go down, Snods. You can see them setting up to try go for this play. They've got a minute on the clock, but actually, they work their way back around. Going to be linking up and deciding where to fully execute from this point. A minute on the clock now.
Bomb in towards B apartments. Q-Kurt, though, probably going to be falling back from there, and he has a Molotov to work with, so can't really sell the best fake. Ali with a good rotation in towards CT as well. They have 3 players stationed towards the A site. With how it seems Avangar are positioning themselves, looks like a mid-window boost followed up by a connector split towards the A site, as ENCE made a good read here to stack the extra player at CT.
25 seconds. So they will be going for this pincer play. The explosion needs to be on point. Everything has to be perfect as the flashbangs go out. Here goes the execute. Aerial with the first defense, but Aerial has been absolutely annihilated there by the AKA Crizzen from the heightened angle. Alexib gets brought down to low HP, and time is of the essence. They need to react fast. The bomb is on the bomb site, but they don't have too much time. They need to clear out these CTs now or plant. It's too late. James has to run away. That is going to be another round for ENCE. They were too slow on the execute, and they couldn't get the frags, couldn't get site control in time, and just didn't have any more of a buffer to play with.
Leaving it down to 20 seconds to go for that playthrough connector. Maybe waiting for the window boost was a bit too audacious. However, though, round number 8, 5-2. Avangar going to be disciplined here and go onto the quasi-buy. Jane with a saved off. They finds the entry onto Alu. Aerial as well goes down early on here. So man advantage in favor of Avangar. But Alexib here towards CPL, in towards short, trying to see if he can equalize the numbers.
3 on 4, Surging flick down, gets the early tag and the finishing blow on Buster. So we are back in the 3 versus 3. This bodes well for ENCE, getting themselves a 3rd round and actually some kind of leg into this matchup, as it has been a very, very slow start for them. Crizzen has the AWP, he's at 32 HP as well. So there is always the potential he might just want to save that if this round goes any further south, but they're grouping up towards B. They have a minute on the clock. Q-Kurt is the frontline infantry, and the backstab potential comes from Fitch and Fitch alone. Meanwhile, in terms of the CT side defense, X7 has to go huge. He needs to do the majority of the work. He's got the fast rotate for Alexib as well. First contact has been made as the shots go out, and they're wasting more and more time as they back off, possibly going for the play through underpass here, Snods, but instead they do decide it's going to be the B bombardment. They're going to go for it, and they need to be poised.
Perfect timing here from Fitch. They have 30 seconds left on the clock, so we can try and work out exactly where the players are. Finds the first kill, but X7, swift trade onto Fitz. And now, 2 versus 2. X7 still here on the site, still able to find kills, and with 17 seconds left, Q-Kurt has to win the duel, find the bomb, and with 6 HP left, things are getting awkward, especially with the speed of this flank as well, coming in from behind from Sergey. Timing is important here, and actually may allow the AWP to go in towards Car. But he should be able to find him here. Easy job done, and there you have it. 1 versus 1 goes in favor of ENCE as they take 3 in a row.
Yeah, it seemed like it actually could have been the round there potentially. Obviously, he was so low, but the timing almost gave him a little window of bliss to sneak his way over towards Forest and tuck into position. But gets detected, gets killed, gives ENCE that 3rd round. The rebuy will now come into effect, though, for Avangar. They have all the Wonga to splash as they will reinvest into the AK. Still an AWP on James as well. Just a little bit more restricted utility for him as he won't be able to afford it around the current buy.
So, round number 9, Avangar back onto the full buys after losing 3 in a row. CT aggression coming in towards Palace from Sergey. Actually, just going to be playing on the balcony instead. Speaking of aggression, Jane once again going towards B apartments to try and catch a player jumping. Instead, eats the HE grenade for 49 damage. So, going to be falling back in towards B apartments. Ooh, the spam there as well. On to Kuka. 7 HP for him. So, early exchanges all going in favor of ENCE, as 2 of the players are now tagged down for Avangar. Minute 15 seconds left on the clock. Bomb still in towards T-spawn. Seems like late mid-control from Avangar to maybe split towards one of the sites, depending on where they can find that entry.
Buster and the boys towards mid as they get ready to go for this play. Underpass control also being taken, as the T's have complete free roam around mid there. No early contestation. Instead, it's the choke points that are going to be held. Alu with a distance orb, playing from quite far back, holding the angle, will get the initial kill. Hits Buster. Does he realize there is more to come? Chucks in the Molotov to at least delay it if they wanted to try and go for a fast hit. And this keeps them at bay for the meantime, but there is always the backstab potential. Crizzen. They're going for the contact face. They seem ready for it. Alu gets the follow-up frag from the contact peak. Aerial starts to deal massive blows against them as well as he finds the double kill. QCurt was lying in wait to strike against him. Hits him with a surprise attack, Snods, but it is just him left. 7 HP in a dream and a 1 versus 4 with 10 seconds on the clock. Avangar are playing these rounds so slow. By the time it gets to the get-go, they have no chance to do anything if things start to go south.
It's true. 17 seconds there. Coming up through connector. Aerial looking strong as he did yesterday to find 2 kills there with the silenced M4. 5-4 then. Seems like Avangar have gone for the tactical timeout, losing 4 rounds in a row. And once again going to be deducted down onto pistols. But they have gone for the 1 AK-4 spy, which means if they lose the round, it's fine. 4 players can buy. QCurt could go onto a UMP potentially. But having that 1 AK does drastically increase their chances of winning the round. Alu going to be delayed smoking ramp. It seems like they're having a little bit of game of...
Bernie Stairsy.
Bernie Stairsy, yeah.
I can see you've played Bernie Stairsy before.
I played lava on the floor. We've got to jump around on furniture.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You played Bernie Rampy?
No, personally not. So, bomb in towards T-spawn. QCurt with the sole AK in towards underpass. Probably going to peek in towards the window, then peek in towards connector and try and find that entry towards the A site.
The 5-on-5. No trades yet. No advantage, no disadvantage. It's all a level playing field as they spread their way out and look for what position of attack they want to go for this time. Once again, appears to be a strike on towards the A bomb site with a pincer push. Aerial could go huge here. This sets him up for success if they do actually go for this play as they're in position. Flashbang over. Keep him on his toes. Focus now towards connectors so the backstab can come in from Jame. The smoke's there as well, but he knows about this, Snods. He isn't going to fall for any of these shenanigans as he holds, just watching the smoke, looking for the first frag. Fitch gets killed by Alu in the meantime from the elevated angle as he plays on top of the ticket booth. This push is coming out towards A, but it's so slow, it's so staggered. They're just allowed to be picked off one by one. Aerial starts to do what he does best as he just destroys everyone in front of him.
This guy's pretty insane.
12 frags already, 11 rounds in.
Well, 10 rounds been played, yeah, so let's see what he can do after 11. 5-5, both teams having their own 5-round win streak. And ENCE won a 6th. But, orb once again for Jane. It feels like Jane goes for a ramp peak. Next round, peak towards B. Next round, ramp peak. Next round, the apartments peak. Just cycles
like a cycle,
through.
Yeah.
This time, though, he's gone towards middle for the first time at the start of the round. Maybe that's the adjustment they need. Smoke coming in towards window. Molotov in towards connector. Smoke in from aerial, though. Will delay the mid-default, you would imagine, unless Buster and Fitz walk into the crosshair and the one-way angle that the smoke gives aerial. Ooh, they've actually smoked off the angle. This is going to get intense. What?
My goodness, Snods. Both of them getting a frag apiece there as they're just able to find those kills effortlessly. They knew what was going down. X7 as well through the smoke. A further tag as Q-Kurt is low. Crizzen jumps into his own demise. They are slapping the ENCE players. They're getting them low, but they're not being able to finish anyone. Finally, Q-Kurt does just that. Annihilates Alu. He's got 2 kills to his name, tried to make it a third, but instead Aerial will win that fight. Another aerial attack from the big man himself, bringing that tally up to 15 kills after the 11th round.
Round number 12 then. Buy once again from Avangar. Obviously they are onto the maximum round loss bonus, $3,400. Can afford the AKs, but light utility, and very, very light utility. 1 flashbang. No smokes remaining, Jack, with 1 minute 40 seconds left on the clock. I'm not sure if this has been the smartest investment. Maybe frustration has started to settle in here. So, Crizzen towards the ramp. Obviously, they have no utility with 1 minute 30 left on the clock, so Alu's AWP is going to be very effective. He's not going to be blind, he's not going to be smoked off or Molotoved out of positions. And there's no AWP as well to battle him, so he is going to be the strongest player on the server. But bomb, 3 players towards ramp from Avangar. Seems like an A play.
Face there towards mid as they go for the initial play. Alu with the grenade is going to be able to blow Finch straight out of the server. It's all just constant blue in the kill feed. The ENCE boys are dominating now, Snods. It was an early, tremendous lead for Avangar. I think it's fair to say you could see they were fast, they were aggressive. It was just raw aim that was giving them those rounds. ENCE have now woken up. Alu with the AWP has probably been playing more effective than what we've seen in the past couple of days. He's been looking really strong for it, going for the aggressive faces, and being able to just topple them in those early games because he just blows in the bits. He completely removes any chance of a strategy by removing early set pieces. And then you've also got Aerial, who apparently is just sick.
That's very true. Definitely a player, the highlight player for me in this whole qualifier I've seen so far in terms of up-and-coming talent.
Yeah.
So, 7-5, 7 rounds, 1 in a row. What point do we see the second tactical timeout from Avangar as now they're going to be on to a quasi-buy. Upgraded pistols and Kevlar is all they're going to have to work with. So, smoking towards top mid. Apart from that, 2 players there. Actually, no, just 1. The bomb actually going to be dropped towards top middle. Once again, 2 players coming in towards underpass, so it's a repeat. Oh, again of the same play, but this time something changes. And actually, this time, Avangar get the entry.
That was a big Deagle kill, to be fair. Big Deagle energy as he goes for that first peek. Will back off, obviously can't recover the weapon. He was miles into the site. They are grouped up. It's going to be the classic play through mid once again. They're going to try and use the diversion towards connector and then backstab through window. Jamie is in window. Is Aerial going to be aware of this? Will he figure out what the shenanigans are? Or is he going to get capitalized because of his mistakes? Oh, actually, Alexib could deal with this quite easily. We'll spot him through the vent. That's the trade. That brings it back into the equal score line as the nade rolls in as well. Everyone's so low on Avangar, and they're letting that time run down once again, Snods. Even without utility, they're just burning that clock down as long as possible.
3 versus 4. But now, all of a sudden, into the 1 versus 3. 8 HP, 1 CZ, but no dream. Round number 14, 8-5. 8 rounds in a row now for ENCE consecutively. In terms of frags, 17 for Aerial after 13 being played. And everyone else just lagging behind. Fairly evenly distributed for Avangar. So no one really stepping up to the mark just yet. And for Avangar as well, if they get 1 more round on their T side, they're going to be fairly content with that. And 9-6 half is fairly standard here on Mirage, CT to T side. Aerial trying to see if he can apply the pressure with the amount of confidence he has with his skills so far in this matchup. All it does, though, is concede the first kill and lends the advantage to Avangar.
Probably didn't expect the AWP angle being held there towards mid from Jame either. It's always been pretty dedicated towards one of the 2 sites in the early round. This time actually switches it up and plays towards mid, so has caught them off guard with that. Alu, possibly suspecting this to be a mid play, holds quite aggressively with the rest of that squad. There is a trio of men that were holding mid. Alu luckily made the right decision. Rotates in the nick of time, gets the first frags, able to stay alive, but all the angles of the site have now been blocked off. The wall of smokes have gone up, and it is a big old wall, Snods. Let's see if they can actually break it down, though, and fight through it. ENCE, they're going to have to lose so much time before they're even given an opportunity to fight back into this round. But Finch gets tagged there. Sergej, the aggressive play. He might not deny the bomb plant, but he does kill the plantee. As this push is coming back in, now they have the man advantage.
4 versus 2, as you said, in favor of ENCE for now. As Buster finds one in towards jungle. Alexeb smart, he hides, he waits for the attention to be found by the CT players, then makes his move from the rear, and it leaves us into the 1 versus 2. Jay missing the first shot, lands a second flick though. And now it's all between him and Alu. Orpa versus Orpa. Smoke gonna be shrouded in the vision as he spams through it, trying to connect the shot, but actually it's all a ruse. The whiff there from Alu may have just thrown away the time, and it has. A 1 versus 2 from Avangar with the first round they win after losing 8 in a row.
That's unfortunate, Snods. Obviously for ENCE there, could have been a huge round. The retake was on point, but James, he was able to delay them. Missed the initial shot, but that follow-up is what made the difference. As long as he got that one frag there, you forced him into an awkward position. He was able to keep Alu off the bomb, kept him on his toes, and he just didn't quite have enough time. At the end of the day, Avangar get themselves that all-important 6th round. A 9-6 is going to be so much easier to work with than it would have been if it was going to be a 10-5.
It's very true, as it is the final round here. AWP for James, 4 AKs as well for Avangar, and obviously ENCE winning 8 in a row. They can still definitely afford the full buy. Charging in towards the A site, they go before the smokes bloom, and that's to their demise. Aerial, good enough for 2, but Fitch, 2 as well for him. As Alu's HE grenade dunks the damage into Fitch. Now onto a 2 versus 3, Krisen's low. Bomb is planted, but not for ramp, which means James won't have the same impact as he did in the last one.
James, though, still just finding kills as he peeks out from that angle. Alu works out what's going on, finds the first kills. He now needs to just push in and go for the dive bomb. Alu will get it as he annihilates James. That is a hat trick of frags. Alu on fire right now. 15 frags to his name. All have been quite impactful kills as well with that AWP to either delay pushes or win clutches. Him and Aerials combined, that's all you need. That's the kill team.
Yeah, I mean as well, Aerial 20 kills in the first half, Alu on 15 as well, so 9-6 at the scoreline. Obviously for Avangar, when they were 5-0 up, they probably were expecting a much more one-sided affair in their favor.
Yeah, it's good stuff across the board, obviously keeping it close, a 9-6 scoreline. This is where that pistol round comes into importance. This could be a big one. The fact if you get it on that, obviously on the T side for ENCE, that could spiral that score out of control pretty early on, put them into a high position that will take you some time to climb back to an even playing field. Whereas for Avangar, you can equalize the difference. You can get yourself back to a more calm position.
Well, obviously, it is the map pick coming out from Avangar. So ENCE, if they win the second half pistol, 9-6 up, get to a 12-6 scoreline if they win the conversion rounds following the pistol rounds. If you're 9-6 up, even though you're on your T side, going to be less favored in terms of the favorites, if it's the CT side versus the T side. Mirage, you'd say, what, 60-40 maybe to the CTs, expecting 9-6s, 8-7s. So looking good for them. If they win the second half pistol, maybe they can take this map, which is their oppositions, and going into the next one, they'll look good.
Yeah, so if we have a look at the bracket quickly as well before we carry on with this second half, as we do now have the update.
Oh, it's Gambit that one, wow.
And it was Gambit that overthrew Space Soldiers there. So it's going to be Gambit Esports versus North as our last game of the day after this series in the lower bracket there. And obviously the loser of the series that's going on right now will be dropped into the lower bracket, who will still have a chance to grab a spot. This one is for a spot at Chicago.
Exactly, for ENCE and Avangar. The next two, well, including this one, this best of 3 and the next one as well tomorrow, are all qualification best of 3s. And Gambit versus North, that's a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, bit of a different one there. Could be spicy. The return of Gambit up against North. We'll have to find out how that one goes later on in the day. For the meantime, we are going to be carrying on with the action here with Avangar and ENCE as we get into the second half. These sides have been flipped. Avangar are now your CTs. ENCE will be on your T side. Let's see how this is going to go down.
So far, only one player investing into utility for ENCE. Smoke in towards the short pillar. bait set up towards the balconies. Fitch baits for his teammate Krisen, who hasn't been spotted just yet. They run past him, and he does find the second kill for Avangar. So a 3 versus 5 early on. Minute 25 seconds left on the clock as ENCE charge towards CT.
Alu straight in, but is he going to get anything for his trouble? One frag on Finch. Oh, Quicker as well. He wasn't able to adjust in time. He's just going for those little pop shots. Tags Sergey. Oh, the dink is phenomenal though. As Jane brought down incredibly low, but luckily the CTs are just tapping their way through one after another. Everyone is going down that T side. Alu trapped in a horrible spot. The push sprints towards him. Jane gets his second frag of the round, and they get an important pistol round. They can now equalize the scoreline. They could bring this back to a 9-9 if they want to from here.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Avangar winning both pistol rounds. So, bomb planted for ENCE. Probably not going to go for the force buy into this one. What was that?
Look at that. 4 MP5s and 1 MP9.
Still new meta. Do you remember end of 2016, early 2017, during the SK era, back when it was always the 5 UMP buy in the second round?
Yeah.
When the UMP was 4 shots to kill up close.
It was at its height. Yeah, dominance.
Now it's about 6. So that really did taper off quickly after they nerfed it. So, bombing towards Palace. Going to be the fake old matchmaking strat where you fake towards B, have one guy towards the other half of the map, towards the A site, try and see if they can get a sneaky bomb plant and have some additional cash in the next buy round.
Fitch. Ooh, here comes the push. Had the Molotov, but didn't want to chuck it out instantly. You can see, actually, no over-rotate as well. He heard the early push, but he knows they've stopped, so he didn't want to get his teammates to rotate over, as this is a ruse. ENCE are just trying to get that bomb plant down the A site. They want to force everyone off over towards B, but they're not budging. Avangar aren't falling for this.
Haven't moved just yet. Obviously, as the anchor, you should only rotate off of the bomb. 2 players still here towards the A site. ENCE going to be flooding in towards T-spawn, in towards the ramp position. So, hoping that they can fly out, try to get the bomb planted, but Q-Curt here underneath the balcony should be the saving grace for Avangar if things do go wrong. Just coming through an MP5 under the balcony, able to find one eventually. And actually only one. Krisen gets 2, Jame as well, 1 with the MP9. So it's good for his cash with the AWP. And actually has $6,000 here, Jack, so he can invest straight away into the AWP. 4 MP5s and 1 AWP. It's like I'm watching Source.
Yeah, things are crazy right now. Let's see if this is actually going to work out too well for him against the AKs that have been brought to the table from ENCE. This would be for the 9th round to equalize the scoreline fully. ENCE obviously getting the bomb plant have allowed themselves to get that buyout. Close towards ramp right now. Q-Curt just playing around the smoke. This is cheeky stuff. Obviously, the Sansa gives him a little bit of an extra element of surprise if they do go for the fast burst, but he opts against it. Will be backing off. Try and support his teammate there, and Cricken just under dark. Oh, actually goes back in. He's just waiting, trying to see if he can clear these angles with the MP5s, Nods.
Trying to. Has the forward position as well, which means we'll get early information. So we can have the rotate of Fitch as well. This is actually going to be going towards Kitchen. So one player falling back away from the A site. Ali up towards B short. May just force that rotation. He does. Fitch is going to be there towards B. The real play, Jack coming in towards A. Alexa in towards connector. Could be coming in from the flank and catching a few of these CT players, off guard towards A.
Are we going to see some MP5 highlight clips here? Is this one going to be for the frag movie? Let's find out as the push comes in. No from Q-Curt. He's instantly domed and taken down. All of the MP5 players are dead. It is just one man that remains. It's Jame in the 1 versus 4. Make it the 1v3 as he scratches out Alu's name from the charter and keeps on working his way down. This man is a marksman, but does he want to go for this? It's going to be a tremendously stacked round if he did opt to go in. But it seems like he isn't done just yet, Snods.
1 versus 3. No defuse kit, no chance into it. Just going to be saving here towards CT spawn, hoping that they do exit through CT and right into his crosshair. It is risky to go here though, Jack, and not towards kitchen. Obviously, if he does kill the first player, it should be an easy trade by ENCE. So, he's really after these exit kills here, Jack, and that was not worth our time.
And it wasn't worth the cost of that AWP either. And that is awkward for Avangar. You've lost the AWP. The MP5s did nothing. James is now broke in terms of money, so if they want to reinvest into it, he's basically going to be left with nothing. They will actually go for the AWP drop, and instead Fitch will go for the glass cannon MP9.
Yeah, took me a second to work out what you just said then. Glass cannon MP9.
Classic.
Not sure much of a cannon it is. Maybe more of a hand cannon.
Glass pea shooter.
Exactly. 10-8. The last buy from Avangar. If they lose this, they're broke. Bomb in towards T-spawn still. Alu, aerial, in towards top mid as well. Avangar just cycling through the smokes in towards connector, delaying the push in from middle from ENCE. And for now, they can just wait patiently. No defuse kits from the CT side, so if the bomb is planted, we know who to favor. As the smokes have now faded towards connector from the CT side, mid control can now be controlled by ENCE.
Go for the push round, going to try and hit them with a aggressive play here towards the A-bomb site. Q-cut, playing on the close ramp angle. He's going to be that frontline infantry. He'll be the one that has to try hold back the river when the push comes out. Molotov in as well, but Alexiv and Co aren't affected by it. They can hold their ground, playing on the off angle. Q-cut does get tagged up, but just pushes straight in over the back of the flashbang. But he goes down. The T's are finding the frags. As the push comes out, it's just Finch and James that remain. He's going to upgrade to the AK. From the bomb site, James needs to just stay alive and try decimate with the AWP if he can. It's a 1v2, but now it's just a 2v none. ENCE finish them.
Economically as well, they get finished. $2,000 across the board here. Going to be the Felica coming out from them. Should be the 12th round secured by ENCE. So, 2 SMGs. MP7, haven't seen that one in a while. Ooh. And the MP5, so they can use the SMGs to go first. Actually, no, maybe Ali can go for the quick peek. I've done that yesterday as well. I combine the peek and quick together.
Little quick, mate.
Yeah, maybe. So, all 5 players here from ENCE coming in towards the A site. No one here from Avangar apart from Kuka with a P250. So this should be the site and the round in their favor.
Counter push from the CTs is there. Boosted up as they get the dink down on X7. Over from the stairway area as the nade rolls in. Now going to be tagged on stairs. There's the Molotov as well as the smoke is now dissipated. That completely blocks off that angle and a nice little headshot comes out from X7. The response is busted to come in with the USP. That's basically it. Hence, this should be a 12th round from this point. And that looks good for them to carry on in this warpath as well. Avangar, they can reinvest, but it's not going to be easy. Hence, they're getting themselves dangerously close to match point now as well.
It's true. Obviously, going to be having the 4-round advantage in this one. So, Ariel trying to see if he can pad the stats a little bit more. 23 kills from him already. Obviously, 19 kills in the first half. He's one of the reasons why ENCE won that half. So, nothing even to be saved here from Avangar. Just strictly playing for exit kills. Try and whittle down that T-side economy. Maybe try and find some exit kills to save weapons. You can see here now, James trying his best to get his hands on his AKs to carry forward into the 21st round, but won't get quite so lucky. And with that, we go into the next buy round. AWP for James, but this is the glass cannon one. Once again, no defuse kits from the CT side, and I think they're just over-investing into these quasi rounds. Going for Deagle, Kevlar, light utility is just too expensive. They're lacking so much in their buy rounds, they're just digging themselves into a bigger hole. So
costly every time. Crizzen, though, makes this round at least more awkward for ENCE. cuts the head off of the first man that walks towards him. X7 as well, the MP7 in close range, deals damage, but ENCE are able to try and push back out now. The resurgence is there, so they know of Finch's location. He is a big set piece into the round, and he shows you just why. Finds that first kill, tries to stay alive, but he's been taken down. Alu should cut off the rotate. Didn't even matter that he wasn't looking. Buster had no clue of what was going on, and it's all on James, who is now dead.
13-8. Very convincing by round 1 for ENCE. And this is the map pick from Avangar as well. Jack ENCE looking very, very strong yesterday and today as well. Next map, I believe, is Inferno than Train. Yes, that is true. So, once again, pistols for Avangar. Seems like we've said that very, very often so far on this map. 2 CZs, 2 Deagles, and a USB. That's all they've got.
Much left to work with here. James getting shot in the foot. He's going to put a hole in the shoes. That can't be good. It's quite a slow round as well. 1 minute and 25 seconds left on the clock. ENCE just playing their default, just holding, seeing if Avangar are going to push, if they're going to take a peek. Any potential peep out of them that they can beat down on them and capitalize for their mistakes. X7 as well. Just lurking here over towards the B site as we get to about the minute mark.
The Eagle made a little bit of noise, but not quite a ruckus. 5 versus 4. Clinical play here from ENCE as they all hold each other's angles and they wait for the aggression to come in from Avangar. They peek one by one, and one by one they fall like dominoes. B short. Squish coming in towards the B site. Still have 2 players here though, Jack. Jane, USP, no armor, going to be flushed out by the Molotov and will go down momentarily. Not before he gets a Zeus kill. Quicker as well with the Deagle on towards the default site. Good enough for 1 tag. But it seems like that it was always going to be the 14th for ENCE. 6-round deficit for Avangar, but they still have a buy round here. So maybe this is where things change. It's going to be Kevlar with the AWP now as well. A combo that James hasn't had too often in the second half, and he is top fragging for the Avangar team, so it is important to have him where he's most comfortable.
Yeah, put him on a pedestal, let him do the best he can possibly do. It is a double AWP setup as well though, so the other has been picked up by Buster. So that's going to be one on the B site and one towards mid, just playing close by short and looking towards the window. Fitch also playing close underneath window. But ENCE aren't that interested. They're not going to overcommit and go for a fast-paced play. They're still going to play it quite slowly. Fan out. You've got the 2 players there that are playing from apps, 2 towards mid. But it seems like they're regrouping, so it's possibly going to go for that late-round pincer play on the A site.
Seems likely. Could go for the execution towards A. Obviously, they held off of smoking towards top middle. They have Alexib there with a smoke of his own. Maybe that's what he's going to be using it for. Quicker towards CT. Buster though aggressive with the AWP. No flashbang coming out from Alexib. Easy frag found by Buster. And now coming in towards the A site. 3 players stationed here from the CT side versus the 4 of ENCE. And the bomb spotted in towards Palace. The rotations are going to be coming in momentarily.
Surely. We've got that info, the peek comes through, Aerial is dead. X7 is able to get 1 kill before the trade comes back in favor of the CTs, and now it's a 2 versus 4. But look at the HP bar, so it's 2 men are low. Krisen and Jane are both almost dead, but it does not matter. Buster from short, all he could see is a pair of shoes on the ground, and he shot him. Blew the legs clean off. Alu is left in the 1 versus 4 with 17 seconds to somehow get this match point round. It looks unlikely because it is unlikely. At this point, he just needs to try and do anything really to stay alive.
Or just die before the timer runs out. So he will be receiving his round loss bonus. 9,000 for X7. He can drop over for Alexib. Apart from that, ENCE are going to be fine for cash for this round. 5-round advantage still in the court of ENCE. As we go into the 24th round, 14-9. No op coming out from Alu, so this might be an execution towards A side. This could be a very fast round towards middle if they haven't gone for the AWP. Obviously, Alu had cash to afford it, so it is a distinctive choice, and it seems like the reason is a very high tempo split towards the B side.
Buster with the AWP gets that initial kill on towards Alu. The Molotov is going to go down as well. Oh, the peek from Buster. The adjustment with the AWPs, everything's looking good for Avangar. Now they switch up to the double AWP setup. This will be a 10th round, and they're going to try and keep this game going. See if they can possibly rear it back into a win for them here on the first map of the series. This is their pick, and they're looking better by the second, Snods.
$14-10 now. $3,000 across the board here for ENCE. Going to be taking this round on the chin. Only Kevlar invested into by Aerial. Deagles across the board, CZs as well thrown into the mix. So nothing too much to be anticipated here. In terms of cash, obviously the last one was convincing, so we're starting to see the cash start to swell for Avangar. 5,000, 6,000 to a few of the players, and if they win this one convincingly, which they should, versus the Eco, that cash is only going to grow larger. So ENCE, if they get to 15, they still have to play versus other full buy rounds from Avangar. It's not quite the clean sweep all the way to the win. But so far, passive play from both teams, and as I say that, they've got to push in towards underpass.
We see the early transfer damage. X7 gets brought down to 59. Prison loses a good majority of his health, leaving only on 48. As there is now a minute left on the clock. Still a 5 versus 5, no matter the Arsenal on either side. As that time slowly dwindles. And they get ready to go for a push. Trying to bait out Q-Kurt here. Don't want him to overextend him, but he does go for the push, but it doesn't matter. Aerial! That is a sick shot. Sickening stuff as he lands that punishing Deagle blow. Sergej will go down, but the P250 looks pretty effective. The CZ even more so as Fitch just gets torn to shreds. They're keeping it close. Alexib grabs the AWP. He's already had 2 frags into the round. It's just Buster left in a 1 versus 2. But Alu and Alexib. Bomb has been planted. Retake has been started, but can Buster pull it off? Creeps his way back in. He's going to go through connector, needs to clear this tight left angle, or Alu will get it for free, finds the frag. They were never supposed to win it, but they did. ENCE get themselves match point.
And 5 of them. 15-10 then. ENCE with 1 Kevlar onto Aerial. Apart from that, full eco across the board. And they managed to win it. And that could be the final nail in the coffin for Avangar, not just mentally, but in this game as well. Fitch, no weapon, just a USB. Maybe they're playing pass the parcel with James Orb. No, actually, Fitch is towards the B side. Not sure if it's a random UI issue, UI bug or something, but he hasn't got a weapon shown on the HUD.
Maybe he just now had no money, mate. They could have bought him a pistol, though, if that is the case.
That's what I mean.
Well, they could have dropped him like an MP7.
UMP.
Yeah. James gets that first kill with the AWP. Kills Sergej. Oh, Alexib will fire back through. That is Q-Cut down and out. So they go for the 1-for-1 trade so far. Oh, he went for the gun. I didn't even realise. I was just like, what's he doing? Is he just running into the Molotov? He just sort of stood. But he picked up the gun. Of course he did. So he didn't have a weapon. He just had the USB.
Yeah, he's waiting for someone to die around him. It's like Enemy at the Gates. Have you seen that film?
No.
Fair enough. It's where the Russians attack and they have to go in pairs.
You pick up the gun.
Yeah, 1 gun between 2 of you. Once the guy with the gun dies, you pick him up.
It's a CS strat as well from Source, because that you take the 1 AK, you push long, you rotate it back after everyone dies. Crisant finds the kill on Alexib, and it is just down to a 3 versus 4. The T's trying to go for a bold play. James, that's a nice shot on Alu. But I was going to say Aerial's still alive, and it's never really over when he is, but now he's done for. James finally steps up when he needs to and goes huge into the round. That's a big kill from Crisant as well. Avangar give themselves another chance. They're not out yet.
11-15. They've reset ENCE, so now it's on to $1,400 round loss bonus, and with that, they're going to be going for the force buy. Alexib actually dropping Alu the AK. Aerial, Sergej going to be joining him with that weapon. Mac 10 for Alexib, AK from X7. If Avangar win this round, they get to 12. Eco from ENCE, they should get to 13. This could be doable for overtime, but Aerial has other thoughts.
Aerial with the first frag, tries to kick it off. We know he can be the absolute madman that he is as he bunny hops across the site to get in more of a good vantage point. CT's looking what's going on, but the commotion is there. They're confused. The spam is big. And Alexip down fairly low, but at least the bomb has been planted, and the backstab is outrageous from Alu. The bomb's planted for him as well, so he can get the whole way around, but it doesn't even matter. It seems like they might be dead by the time he needs to strike. Aerial was killed another man. Fitch goes down. It's just Buster and Jame that remain. And Alu still just lies in wait, right in for the right time to strike.
Yeah, Alu should be the insurance policy here. Even then, he may not be needed. Jame now into the 1 versus 3 from behind. It's going to be Alu at connector. And there you have it, 16 to 11.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's that first map done and dusted. It seemed like Avangar actually had a good bit of mental fortitude towards the early game. Very hard-hitting strategy, quite fast, very in your face. And that's the sort of team they are. They rely quite heavily on that individual skill. That's where they're going to be popping off in those one-to-one aim battles, just being able to dominate.
Well, what's so surprising as well is obviously Avangar winning both pistol rounds.
Yeah.
CT and T, and with that only able to conjure up 10, 11 rounds. So if you minus the 6 or 5 conversion rounds, really wasn't that close.
No, it wasn't indeed. ENCE actually had a pretty good handle on the situation. I feel like a lot of that goes down to the fact that Sergej is sort of the young star, right? He's the one that everyone's got their eyes on right now because he's so young and he's also very talented. But I think Aerial has proven throughout this qualifier that he by far is one of the highest skill cap players on that team in terms of what he can do. His aim is definitely unreal, so crisp. And him, Sergej, and Alu popping off, that gives this team more than enough, especially when you have a player like X7 that can come in at times. The whole roster just works.
I think it depends on age, right? Obviously, Sergej's the one that has all the attention because he is 16. There's all the untapped potential there. The question is, how old is Aerial? If he is 18, 19, then there is a new player to get excited about. If not, if he is, 24, 25, then maybe he's just going to be a very solid player going forward.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see if they can keep up that solid style of CS that we just witnessed there because they were dominating Snods. There is still potentially 2 more maps to go. Can they 2-0 Avangar, or is this going to go all the way to a third? This is for a spot at IEM Chicago. Find out after the break.